So we're going to take on adding, subtracting, and multiplying polynomials for this lesson. So let's start out with this. So again, you need to follow your PEMDAS, okay? So follow your PEMDAS process for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And we're going to talk about what to really go on here and how to play this out the easiest. So you have this problem right here. So first off, we're going to look at to see if there's anything in the parentheses we can reduce. And this first setup right here, x plus 1 minus 3x squared. Nope, nothing we can combine. And then 8x plus 21x squared minus 1, nothing else we can combine there. So now there's nothing outside of these parentheses that's going to change anything inside this first polynomial, and there's nothing outside of this second one either, because it's just a positive 1. If you realize this is a plus, this second polynomial here, it's just going off of positive 1 is understood there. So it's not going to change anything inside of the parentheses. So with that, let's go ahead and just remove these parentheses then. Does it really matter do we have them there? There's nothing we can do with it. So we're going to take x plus 1 minus 3x squared plus 8x plus 21x squared minus 1. Now we can combine like terms and reduce this down a little bit. So the biggest term, I'm going to go in the order because you want to start with your biggest exponent and work your way down. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and look at our x squareds here. So we have, in this case, we have a negative 3x squared and we have a positive 21x squared. So that is saying 21x squared x squared minus 3x squared. Well, 21 minus 3 should give you 18. So that'll give us 18x squared. Alright, so it takes care of those two. Then we're going to look at this. Let's see what color I can use here. Let's use orange. And then let's look at the next biggest exponent is just x to the first power. So we have just an x, and we have a positive 8x. And with that, that is like saying x plus 8x. So that gives you 1 plus 8. So that should give you plus 9x. Okay, those go away. And the last one we're going to look at here, we're going to look at saying we have a positive 1, because now we just have actual number values. So we have a positive 1 and a negative 1. And that's saying 1 minus 1, which will give us 0. So the overall answer for this is 18x squared plus 9x. And that is what we need to do. So we get another example here. Alright, so now we have this setup. Let's see if we can do anything. So 9x minus 12x cubed. There's nothing we can do besides press these and combine or anything. So look at the second. So we have 5x cubed plus 7x minus 2. Nothing we can combine in there. However, the big thing we need to see here is with this minus sign, that is like saying there's a negative 1 multiplying times this polynomial. So therefore, we need to change all the signs inside this polynomial, because we're going to take negative 1 times 5x to the third. We're going to take negative 1 times 7x. And we're going to take negative 1 times a negative 2. So since negative 1 is mainly going to change all the signs we have in there, and that's what we need to look at. So again, I'm going to remove the parentheses as doing this. So this first polynomial, 9x minus 12x cubed, stays the way it is. Okay, and then we have this backwards. So negative 1 times 5x cubed is going to be minus 5 x cubed. Negative 1 times positive 7x is going to be a negative 7x. And negative 1 times a negative 2 is going to give me a positive 2. Alright, so now there's nothing else that we need to worry about other than just combining like terms. So let's do that. So let's look at our biggest exponent here is x to the third. So I'm going to take negative 12x to the third, and then we have a negative 5x to the third. We combine that, say negative 12x to the third minus 5x to the third. So negative 12 minus 5, so it's going to give us negative 17x cubed. Okay, so now our next biggest exponent is going to be just x. Okay, x to the first power here. So with that, we have 9x, and we have a negative 7x. So that's like saying 9x minus 7x. Well, 9 minus 7 is 2, so therefore that gives us a positive 2x. And for our last value here, the last one we gotta look at, let's see what color we I'll use purple on this one. So the last values we have is our numbers. In this case, we just have a positive 2. Oh, we didn't go with my purple. Let me get rid of that and change that. I don't want to get everybody confused with colors and get me all confused. Alright, let's see. Purple. There we go. Okay, so we want to deal with a positive 2, and it's the only one out there. So we can just write plus 2. Now there's nothing else we can do to combine or anything like that. The simplest form, so that is our answer. Alright, let's look at another example here. So another word problem. A rectangle has a length of x and a width of 5x cubed plus 4 minus x squared. Find the perimeter of the rectangle with the length when the length is 5 feet. Alright, so again, the easiest thing to do with this is let's go ahead and find out what our perimeter would be. So to do this, perimeter, remember we've got a rectangle. So it's telling us that our length is x and our width is something else. Alright, the width value is going to, I'll write it over here. Let me get different colors to break this out. We're going to say it's 5x to the third plus 4 minus x squared. Well, as you can see, we have 2 of these, right? You got a perimeter is adding up all the sides. You need a perimeter. So there's 2 lengths and 2 widths. So with that, let's write this out easier. So for our perimeter, we're going to say we have 2 times x plus this, we're going to say 2 times 5x cubed plus 4 minus x squared. That'll give us our perimeter. So to move forward with this, let's look. So 2x isn't going to happen anything to happen with that. It's 2x is just 2x. And then we got plus. Then we need to distribute that 2 to everything that's in parentheses. So our polynomial is there. So 2 times 5x cubed, 2 times 5 is 10, so it gives us 10x cubed. 2 times 4 is plus 8. And 2 times negative x squared. So it's 2 times a negative 1, so it's negative 2x squared. Now we can combine like terms if we have any, or at least rearrange just to make it look better. Alright, so for our perimeter, let's see, we got 10x cubed. The next biggest one is x squared, so minus 2x squared. plus 2x plus 8. Alright, so there's nothing else we can combine. There's no other cubes, there's no other x squares, no other regular x's, no other just actual constants in there, so therefore we can just go ahead and leave it like that for our perimeter. So again, this gives us our actual perimeter. However, it said we'll find the perimeter when the length of a rectangle, or sorry, when the rectangle has a length of 5. So 5. So in other words, what that's telling you right there is our length was x. So it's saying x equals 5. So now we need to just plug 5 into this and figure it out. So let's do that. Let's figure that out. Let's go ahead and use green, and we'll say we got 10 times 5 cubed minus 2 times 5 squared plus 2 times 5 plus 8. Now in this type of problem, let's go ahead and use a little bit of calculator so we don't have to crunch all these numbers in our head and we get an accurate value. So let's do this. Let me pull my calculator up here. Alright, and we'll get just a little bit there so I can see while I'm typing in here. So I'm going to say we got 10 times 5 raised to the power of 3. And then we're going to say minus 2 times 5 squared plus 2 times 5. And then we're going to say plus 8. And let's get enter. So that gives us 1218. So 1,218. So the answer that we get on this one is 1,218. And then we're going to just box that in. Of course, one other thing. Let's see, what did I forget? We got to label it. It's feet. It's not inches or anything like that. We had 1,218 feet. That is the answer for this. Alright, let's do one other problem here. So let's do another multiplication style setup, but this one's got a little bit more. It's actually two polynomials times each other. It makes this a little bit more work intensive, shall we say. So to do this, again, I like to do just the little arrows to go through these. Alright, so you're going to take the first and multiply it times all the ones in the second polynomial. Then you'll take your second value and multiply it times everything in the second polynomial. So we're going to take 3x and we're going to multiply it times 2x squared. So 3 times 2 is 6. And then we're going to say we've got x times x squared. When you have that, you add the exponents. So that's going to give us, since there's an understood 1, so 1 plus 2 gives me x to the third. Alright, then I'm going to take 3x, multiply it times positive 3x. So 3 times 3 should give you a 9. And you have x to the first times x to the first, so you add x, 1 plus 1 is 2. And then you're going to take 3x and you're going to multiply it times a negative 1. So therefore you should get negative 3 times the negative 1 gives you a negative 3x. Okay, so now let's do the next value here in the first polynomial, which is a negative 2. So I'm going to take this negative 2 and we'll multiply it times 2x squared. So negative 2 times 2 is negative 4x squared. Negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. And then negative 2 times a negative 1, negative to the negative is a positive, so positive 2. Now we just need to combine like terms and make this look a lot better, okay? So the biggest exponent we have is x third, so we're going to say 6x cubed. Okay, that guy's gone. So then we got our x squared, will be the next highest. So we have 9x squared minus 4x squared. So this one, we got 9x squared minus 4x squared. So 9 minus 4 should give me positive 5x squared. And then we're going to look at, we have our negative 3x and a negative 6x. So negative 3 minus 6 should give you a negative 9x. And then our last value there that we had all together here, we'll just leave it as orange since it was orange to begin with. And there's only one of them, we'll just leave it plus 2. That's the only thing left there on this guy is that plus 2. And therefore, there's nothing else we can combine or reduce on this. So the answer overall for this guy is simply 6x cubed plus 5x squared minus 9x plus 2. Again, it's doing the whole umbrella effect of that. We're distributing the negative 3 and the negative 2 to every value in that second polynomial for multiplication. Alright? Alright guys, so hope that helps explain a little bit on adding, subtracting, multiplying polynomials. And I'll see you next time.